What's up, Boxing Land? Let me just make sure that I'm recording, which I am. Want to talk to you guys today about what's next for Floyd Mayweather after he beats the shit out of Robert Guerrero. And these are the people who I think are in line to face Floyd: Devon Alexander, Marcos Maidana, Danny Garcia, Amir Khan, and one more, but let me stay on those four. All of those four are junior welterweights that I believe are not developed or not qualified enough or big enough draws to compete and to be on a pay-per-view fight with Floyd. The fifth person that I believe that Floyd could possibly face down the road is Victor Ortiz. And ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody wants to see that rematch. Nobody wants to see that fight. We all know what's going to happen. And those are all weak. You know, we're paying customers. Floyd's fights are on pay-per-view. And I can't, you know, unless you're a Flomo, you know, a diehard, I'm only a fan of Floyd Mayweather, don't watch anything else in boxing fan, you can't justify any of those 5 opponents on a pay-per-view card with Floyd. You know, they're asking us to shell out, what, over $60 for a pay-per-view fight? And those are all weak opponents. I'm not saying that they're bad fighters, just at the caliber of skill and the stardom of Floyd, I don't think they should be on pay-per-view with Floyd. You know, and some of you, in defense of Mayweather, will ask, well, who should Floyd fight? I don't know, anybody but those 5 guys. You know what I mean? Fight Canelo. You know, and when you mention Canelo, they'll say, well, Canelo's not ready. You know, because they'll read some bullshit bias articles that's written on the internet that are pro-Mayweather. You know, where they said, oh, Canelo's not ready, Canelo's not ready. But Robert Guerrero was? Why? Because he beat a overrated Berto? You know what I'm saying? What Berto's done in his career? He got beat by Victor Ortiz, and he got beat by Louis Collazo, but got a gift. So, you know, not to not Ghost, because, you know, his wife went through cancer, and I'm glad he's getting a good payday, but, you know, what we're saying, that Guerrero was ready, and that Guerrero's, you know, pay-per-view worthy, but Canelo's not? Come on, man, what kind of bullshit is that? You know what I'm saying? Floyd could fight a Sergio Martinez, but you'll say, oh, but Sergio Martinez is a middleweight. He's really a 154-pound fighter that moved up to middleweight because nobody would want to face him at 154, you know? But Floyd's fought at 54. He fought Oscar and he fought Cotto. But Sergio's not washed up. He's got speed and he's got power, you know? And you know, some of you guys will say, oh, Sergio's nothing, and you'll pick apart some of his technical flaws. But you know what? Technical ability doesn't always win fights. You know, and when we have a guy who some of you are saying is an all-time great, we hold him to a higher standard. You know, he's one of the most skillful boxers to ever step in the ring. So we want to see him take challenges. We don't want to see him take easy fights. You know, we don't want him to keep picking opponents that he knows he's gonna beat or stylistically, you know, good for him. So I want to see Floyd take on a real threat. Or I want to see Floyd just basically fight Canelo and retire. You know what I mean? Maidana, Devon Alexander, you know, Danny Garcia, Amir Khan, Victor Ortiz rematch. None of those fights are credible. And we don't want to see any of those fights. Even some of you diehard fans will have to agree with me. So, you know, who knows? You know, if you can't fight a good fight that's a good threat to fans, then just go away. You know, you've done enough. You've made enough money. What the fuck do I care how much money Floyd makes or not? That ain't my business. Boxing to me is entertainment, guys. You know, once I log off my computer, once I turn off the screen, I don't give a shit about it. I don't think about it. It doesn't pay my bills. You know, it doesn't put me on a nice, sandy, warm beach in the Caribbean once a year. It doesn't do anything for me but entertain me when I'm looking to be entertained. So I don't care how much he makes or not makes. It's not my problem, you know. Just the same way he doesn't, these fighters don't give a shit about us if we happen to crash and burn in a car. So who cares, you know, outside of that. So We'll just have to wait and see. This May 4th fight with Robert Guerrero, I don't think people are interested. You know, it's interestingly enough, you haven't heard any ratings, rating numbers from Showtime or Mayweather about All Access. I don't think that people care for it. I think we've seen that act over and over again. And not to hate, All Access is all right. It's a half hour long, but it's nowhere near as good as 24/7. I know they have comment on there, but it's still not as good as the person speaking in 24/7. So, and then Abner Mares, I'm a huge fan of his. I like Ponce de Leon, a technically super flawed fighter that's just rugged as hell and hard to face. That's a good fight, but it's not good enough to make me want to order the fight to watch that on the undercard. Gabe Rosado from Philly, Boricua, I like. Jay Leon, I could care less about. Gabe, try to go for the knockout. You're not gonna win a decision the same way that Josecito Lopez didn't get a decision facing Jesse Vargas, who left Floyd for top rank. But the whole card, to me, it's not worth enough for me to pay money. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I got money. I don't have money. You know what I mean? I'm a working man just like everybody else in America, paying bills, you know, busting my ass just to make ends meet. I'm a contractor, so I don't work every single day like most people, you know. But nonetheless, I'm not gonna shell out money to see that. So, you guys, tell me what you think. You can hit me up on Twitter at YDKSAB. You can hit me up on Facebook at Boxing Freaks, 2 words. You know, form your own opinions. You know, watch a fight a second time. Whip out a piece of paper. Make notes. Score them. You know, draw your own conclusions. You know, learn for yourself. Commentating is fucking biased these days. You know what I'm saying? You have commentators drumming up drama, you know, swaying opinions. You know, form your own opinions. And sometimes we gotta mute the volume. You know, I know I'm digressing, but this weekend's telecast of Canelo Trout was bad. And for me, the reason why it was so bad was it reminded me so much of HBO. You know, the HBO commentators always have their favorites, or they always have an agenda, and they always try to create drama and set up the audience for certain things. Showtime hasn't done that. Al Bernstein, Steve Farhood, before when Antonio Tarver was there, they didn't do that. They just called the fight for what they were seeing, and they let the action in the ring be all the drama that was needed. But I saw hints of HBO. Interestingly enough, Golden Boy and Al Heyman were involved in that fight, and you see kind of the same bullshit that was happening with the HBO cheerleading team happened just a little bit with Showtime. I hope it doesn't happen again. I hope they call fights a little bit. I'm not saying that they weren't fair. To me, they were just riding Trout too hard. But in a way, I can understand from a marketing standpoint, because Canelo is already a megastar. So you want to build up Trout, but a lot of people saying Trout won and this, that, and the other, and I don't think that's the case, and I'm being fair. You know, he fought a good fight. He didn't have a bad performance. You know, possibly the knockdown was the difference in the fight. You know, if not for the knockdown, maybe it could have been a draw, but there was a knockdown. So to say that Canelo won means that Canelo would have, to say that Trout won would have meant that Trout would have had to won fucking 8 to 9 rounds, and that just wasn't possible. So again, guys, form your own opinion. Stop reading these bullshit bias articles that these bullshit websites are writing, you know, and listening to commentators that really don't know much about boxing. You know, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I know enough about the technical aspects of boxing. I know enough about the bullshit politics to know when somebody's trying to sway my opinion and someone's trying to bullshit me. So that's all I want for you guys. So again, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, tell me what you want. Stay posted. I'm going to do another video later today. Peace.